A man is dead. His wife called 911. The paramedics came. The doctors looked at his chart, diabetes, gastrointestinal problems, a history of hospital visits, and they wrote down two words: natural causes. Case closed. Nobody suspected anything. Not the police, not the doctors, not even his own family. For 9 months, the perfect murder stayed perfect, until a burglar walked into the wrong house. Harold Peanut Allen Jr. was 52 years old, living in Freetown, Indiana, a town so small everybody knows everybody. He was a big guy, diabetic. In the months leading up to his death in December 2022, he'd been in and out of the emergency room with severe stomach pain. Doctors thought it might be diverticulitis. His family was worried, but not alarmed. People with his health history got sick. That's just how it was. A few days before Christmas, Harold was found unresponsive in his home. He was gone before the ambulance arrived. His wife, Marcia, survived him. She grieved. Life went on. And no one, not a single person, opened a criminal case. Fast forward to September 19, 2023. Marcia Allen calls the Jackson County Sheriff's Department to report a break-in. Firearms and jewelry have been stolen from her home. Deputies pull up the security camera footage and spot one of the intruders, a young man named Stephen White, a close friend of Marcia's daughter, Ashley Jones. Officers locate White within hours. He confesses to the burglary almost immediately. But then he says something that stops the detectives cold. He looks at them and says, and I'm paraphrasing here, "You need to know something. Marcia Allen is a murderer. She killed her husband. She put poison in a root beer float. A root beer float with whipped cream and sprinkles on top." White told investigators that Marcia had walked into the kitchen, made Harold his favorite treat, and poured something from a bottle into it before handing it to him. That something, investigators would later confirm, was ethylene glycol, the primary compound in antifreeze. Colorless, odorless, sweet-tasting, completely undetectable without specific testing. And Harold, trusting his wife completely, drank every drop. Now here's where it gets even darker. Because this wasn't a moment of rage, it wasn't impulsive. Detectives got a warrant for Marcia's phone, and what they found was thousands, and I mean thousands, of text messages between Marcia and her daughter Ashley stretching back months before Harold's death. This was a planned, calculated, prolonged conspiracy. And Ashley Jones wasn't Harold's biological daughter. She was his stepdaughter. Someone who had lived under the same roof. Someone he had trusted as family. According to investigators, Ashley had started researching poisons as far back as November 2022. She ordered pong pong seeds, a plant that produces a toxin called cerberin, which disrupts the heart's electrical activity, from an eBay seller in September of that year. She used a hidden Apple email address to order ethylene glycol online, disguising the purchase trail. The pair made at least 4 separate attempts on Harold's life, using at least 3 different substances, including foxglove root placed directly into his food. 4 attempts, each one designed to look like his health was simply failing. Each one drawing out his suffering over weeks and months, while his family watched helplessly and doctors chased phantom diagnoses. When all of that failed, Marcia served him that root beer float on December 19, 2022. Harold Allen was dead the next morning. When police brought Marcia in for questioning a month after the burglary, she denied everything. She went home that same day. And within hours, she took her own life by overdose. She would never face a courtroom. Ashley, however, was arrested and charged with murder, conspiracy to commit murder, attempted murder, and burglary. And if you think the story ends there, it absolutely does not. While sitting in jail awaiting trial, Ashley Jones gave her cellmate a list, a handwritten list of names. Investigators say it was a kill list, the names of witnesses in the case who she wanted eliminated. And the very first name on that list? Stephen White, her own best friend. The man who had turned her in. Prosecutors said a handwriting analysis came back favorable, meaning it was almost certainly written by Ashley, but she was never charged for it. The legal system couldn't make it stick. Her trial kept getting delayed. Originally scheduled for January 2025, then pushed to August 2025. And when August finally came, Ashley Jones didn't go to trial. She took a plea deal, pleading guilty to attempted murder and conspiracy to commit murder. The remaining charges were dismissed. At sentencing, Harold's sister-in-law Samantha stood in that courtroom and watched as the judge looked at Ashley and said there was no other word for what she had done but evil. There would be no forgiveness from that court. Ashley Jones was sentenced to 50 years in prison. She showed no remorse. Prosecutors said they never once saw it on her face. Stephen White, the burglar whose confession cracked the whole case open, received 3.5 years for his role in the break-in. But here is the detail that should keep you up at night. Ashley Jones had been married before. Her husband, a man named Tyrson Jones, was found dead in his home in 2019, just days after receiving an inheritance from his great-grandfather. His family only found out he was gone when Ashley called to tell them. Tyrson's uncle, who happens to be Stephen White's father, told investigators he believed the crimes didn't start with Harold Allen. "Something's been going on for a long period of time," he said. "It's all about money for them." Tyrson Jones's death has never been officially ruled a homicide. That case remains open. So ask yourself this: how many times does someone have to get away with it before anyone notices? Harold Allen noticed something was wrong. He just didn't know who was doing it to him. And the only reason we know the truth today is because a burglar, caught on camera, cornered by police, decided to tell one more secret on his way to jail. Harold Peanut Allen Jr. deserved better. And thanks to the most unlikely chain of events imaginable, at least part of the truth finally came out. Stay safe out there, and we will see you in the next one.